Welcome to QSR Nation, your weekly dose of food service marketing tips and business strategies for success. Here's your hosts, Josh Anderson, Beth Oots, and Anthony Pierce from the PFS Brands National Headquarters.
QSR Nation, as always, we have Josh, Beth, and Tony from PFS Brands here in Holtzum, Missouri to talk about food service marketing and business strategies for success.
Today, it's always a mouthful.
Oh, man. It's like I got to memorize. Today, we're going to talk about soliciting customer or consumer feedback from your traffic that comes through your store. It's just a great way to really improve your business and efficiencies and production and all kinds of things. Now, Tony, I know that you're very data-driven and things like that, so it's good to always get this first-hand customer feedback. What are your thoughts on it?
Gathering that consumer feedback is really important. You can think you know what's going on in your business, and your employees can tell you what they see going on in your business. But how the consumer actually views that experience is highly insightful. They may say things that you possibly overlooked, like referencing that I would eat here more often if, and then you'll fill in the blank. Or I was disappointed today because, and it could be something simple like, the cashier, seeing that they were preoccupied, or I wasn't, asked for my order right away. I wasn't greeted promptly. And it helps you keep focused on some of the smaller details that can sometimes get lost in the day-to-day business. There's so much going on running a business. There's so many aspects you have to control and create an environment that's good for the employees, it's good for the brand. But ultimately, that consumer experience is what it's all about. And the more you can cater to them to help address those issues from feedback, the better experiences they're going to have, the better the feedback's going to come, and then you'll start seeing some great changes in your bottom line, typically when you have a good reaction to your feedback.
Another thing that you want to be able to do is just provide a direct line for any of your customers to be able to contact someone. And you want to make sure that that person that can be reached is going to be able just to be a listener. You don't want to have someone that's going to have a constant answer for everything. They're not going to be like, we disagree with you. This is not what's happened. This is the reason why this happened that day. A lot of times customers just want to have someone that's there to listen. So make sure that you can delegate someone that is very good at this type of feedback and being able to provide it and to also listen. If you don't have someone that you can designate at a regular phone number, if you have a contact information for email, or even just a suggestion box, just something like that, so that way everything that your customers are thinking can be taken into consideration and you can make those effective changes for the future.
There's also the timeliness of the response, because when you receive feedback, and assuming that it's a negative feedback, for instance, the timeliness is imperative. The longer you go without responding and addressing that consumer's issue or concern, the greater that consumer discontent with your business is going to be. Likewise, you should also respond to positive feedback, because that helps you gain additional insight and helps you create really brand advocates for you. People that are really happy that you're in business, they're happy to spend their money with you, and they're happy to share some great experiences. And those are things that can help you with reviews being left online, helping that overall imagery out there in the marketplace. So timeliness of how you respond to feedback is very important. If you can do it within the same day, that would be ideal. But definitely don't let more than a day go before you've addressed that consumer's feedback.
Yeah, I agree 100% on timeliness. Even if it's just thanks for your feedback, we're looking into it. Just give them something that they know you're actually on it. And then if like a program comes out of it or some major program change, let them know as well that they actually installed some or helped create the business.
You could take something a little further with that as well. If you realize that you have a trend and you've gotten feedback with an issue, 3, 4, 5 times within the last month, and you identify that problem and you find a way to fix and correct that, and you do install a new program or efficiency that helps that, take it as an opportunity to reach back out to those 3 or 4 or 5 people and say, hey, I want to thank you. We've been able to implement some changes. I'd like to invite you back to our place of business as our guest. Here's a coupon for a free meal on us. Let us know how things have changed, and that way you can get someone who was a negative feedback possible situation and give them opportunity to see the changes implemented and hopefully leave you some good, honest feedback so that you can continue to grow your business. I mean, there's nothing wrong with good, honest feedback. Good, bad, or indifferent, feedback helps.
One thing I just want to emphasize is that we live in a society where we demand instant gratification. So whenever you have one of these customers that are leaving feedback when it comes to Facebook, Twitter, make sure that you are responding. Don't let those go because you're going to have other customers that are going to feedback off of that just because they're going to see those complaints or even the positive things, which you hope people then will start answering on that one. But, complaints are like wildfire. And once you hear one, especially on social media or online, you need to make sure that you are keeping up with those and making sure that you are responding to them effectively.
For sure, and I would like to add also as well, it never hurts to ask for a review. I mean, if you get really positive feedback from somebody, just ask them. Be like, great, would you like to leave a review about our location as well?
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially with the way our cell phones are set up today. I mean, a lot of apps are on there that kind of track you kind of where you go and say, hey, we noticed you were at this place. You want to check in. You want to leave us a review or whatever. You never know how that person is going to respond. So always stay on top of your game. It's very, very important, like Beth said, in this day and age, especially more probably now than ever, because word of mouth isn't just of mouth, it's of social media. Mm-hmm. And, that can really hurt and harm a business if not addressed and taken care of quickly.
For sure. You guys have any other feedback to add about the topic of feedback?
I think this is a great topic.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure.
No, but seriously, set up a channel for feedback from your customers. Definitely will help your location in the long run. I think that's about it for us. So for Josh, Beth, and Tony and QSR Nation, we'll talk to you next week.
And leave us your feedback.
Yeah.
Stop by next week for another QSR Nation episode or visit pfsbrands.com.